All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Latif. I am a partner at a venture capital fund called M13. We're between LA and New York, and I run our New York business. So in my job, basically, I help run our team, which is about 40 people. And also I invest and sit on the boards of a lot of startups that have anywhere between 10 people to 200 people. And so through that process, I get to see a lot of teams and get to see how they grow and get to observe a lot of the behaviors of people that are working on these teams from the senior levels all the way to the junior levels. And the context of my conversation for the next couple of minutes is really in trying to put myself in your shoes and trying to think as you're getting into the workforce, some of the observations I've seen over the last few years. I have one slide, so we're just going to be on this one. And so I guess if you take a step back, with COVID, we saw acceleration of online education, online health, and also just, really people were forced to work remotely, and I think there's been a lot of advantages, obviously, to that. Opens up opportunities globally in emerging markets. It brings down cost. It increases connectivity. But I also think, as I've observed these teams, there's a real kind of need for people to spend time together in person. And I see that in our offices when I see us working with our junior people. And also, I think, as I think about our companies, the ones that, have remote teams have struggled a bit more than the ones that at least have a center of gravity or multiple centers of gravity. And so I think it's, as you're thinking about your career, it's very important. And so it came up about building a network, and I think that's absolutely essential. There's no better time than when you're in college or maybe in grad school where you can just write anybody and they won't think it's weird. They'll say, oh yeah, sure, this is a student who wants advice. If you're an adult in the workplace and you write somebody, it's like, you see it all the time on LinkedIn, and you're like, why would I respond to that? That's strange. So take advantage of this opportunity and build a wide network. And over time, I think what's important is you got to go deep. Like, you have to find people that look after you, that you can learn from. And those mentors, I think, both are internal within your companies and then external, who could be in your industries. And so that, I think, is very, very critical. The digital water cooler doesn't really exist. It's very hard to have serendipity online. I mean, you can get into a Discord chat group and maybe you'll find something very interesting and that'll be good. But the importance of just sitting in an office, and if you are looking at another design that somebody has on the product side or the iterations you can have collectively, I see it again all the time when teams are in our offices. It's just really, really critical. So it's hard to have serendipity online. The more time you spend in person with people, the better. And so I think this idea of offsites and onsites. So if you are in an office, working all the time in an office, it's really important to spend time outside an office and find the ways to really kind of get to know people on a very personal level. Like, it's amazing if you have real relationships, how much I guess people will look after you and how much more you can get done. And so I really implore you to spend time with people in person. And if you are remote, because oftentimes, like, there's family and there's other reasons, economic reasons that you need to be remote, or maybe that's just a killer company you want to work for, and the only way that they can hire you is because you're in a different city and so forth. This idea of getting on-site is really critical. And so on-sites, and even if that's every once in a while, I think that can go a very long way. Lastly, put in the work. There's just no replacement for work ethic. So put in the work, say yes, get uncomfortable with whatever it is. If that's cold outreach, go out and do it. It's amazing. People, I think, are naturally very inclined to help you. The last thing I'll say, we think about AI a lot at our job. AI and blockchains are two areas we spend a lot of time in. better AI is going to obviously increase productivity, which will generate the most scarce asset we have, which is our time. And so there's going to be just more time in the world. And the question I think you guys should all think about is, what are you going to do with that time? And I think you're at a great school, design and product, and I think the design of AI systems is going to be critical. So good luck, and please reach out if I could be of any support.